All right. So Kelly was saying this earlier, and I think this is true. After week 1, you really don't know anything because you have the one data point. We probably don't know that much right now, but it's a little more solidified. And I do want to say that my top 10 after week 1, which some might have said was a little shaky, it kind of bore out nicely. Let me just give you what my updated top 10 are. And again, why do we do power rankings? Everybody should do rankings and ratings in every sport that they handicap to have a baseline to go off of. I've got the Niners still at number 1.
And this is the most basic way to do it, but we've been doing it for, 3-4 years now together? And it's like, it's still insanely interesting to me every week we do this. Because like you said, week 1, it was like, well, there's more than 10 good teams. How do I possibly rank all these? And then like this week, it's like, we're already at the point of like, I don't know who's 9 and 10. Who knows?
Oh, it contextualizes the league for you. And you realize, God, do most teams suck or are like really mediocre?
And then we're just past week 2, and it's like, well, I got to take this team out because this guy got injured already, right? He's out for the year.
That too, or it's also like we're past week 2, and we're like, well, I can tell you all the playoff teams already, right? or generally, I have the Niners number 1. They were number 1 after week 1. They remain number 1. They're still the most complete team in football to me. The Chiefs remain number 2. That I get it. They're 1-1. They're still the Chiefs, though. They still have Patrick Mahomes. Last I checked, they will be number 2 unless events dictate otherwise for me. Cowboys and Eagles flip. Cowboys go to 3. Eagles go to 4. Cowboys still haven't played anybody, but it's only 2 weeks. And but the Cowboys have been so complete on offense and defense, so they get the nod over the Eagles. Eagles are still great. They're number 4. So you have 3 NFC teams in the top 4. Niners, Chiefs, Cowboys, Eagles, and then Dolphins remain at number 5 for me. They were 5 last week. They remain number 5. They're 2-0. 2 road wins for the Dolphins at the Chargers, at the Patriots. Pretty darn good opponents, too, that they win both on the road. They have to be number 5. I got the Bills moving up from 7 to 6. I was not willing to knock the Bills out after their loss to the Jets. I still think they're among the best teams in the NFL. I got the Ravens moving up to number 7. They were in my top 10 last week. I've got them up at number 7. This organization, Kelly, just remains solid year after year. And Lamar Jackson looks great.
Yep.
I got the Jaguars moving up from 10 to 8. Even with their loss to the Chiefs, I think they put in a great defensive performance. They're number 8. Now, here's where it got difficult for me.
Yes.
Well, actually,
we have the same 8 teams in our top 8.
Oh, we do.
They're just mixed around.
Oh, interesting. I had to put the Rams at number 9. Go crazy. I know a lot of you are like, what? You have the Rams at number 9? They crushed the Seahawks on the road and led the Niners deep into the second quarter, and it was a one-score game until late against the Niners. You tell me who else deserves to be number 9, if not the Rams. I got the Rams at number 9, and then 10 was really difficult. Believe it or not, I struggled to prevent myself from putting the Chargers at number 10 because in my heart of hearts, do I believe they're worse than 10? Probably not, but they can't win football games no matter what they do. So I got the Seahawks at 10. Yes, they got crushed by the Rams, but they bounced back nicely at Detroit. I got the Seahawks at number 10. Teams on the outside looking in do include teams like the Chargers and the Patriots and the Lions and teams of that ilk. No Browns because of the Chubb injury, and they weren't in my top 10 last week. No Bengals last week. They're certainly not in it this week either. You
mentioned Patriots there.
Yeah.
Like you would still have them like 12, 13, somewhere in
They're
that
in
range?
the top 15 for me.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think they're there. I don't even think they're top 15
Oh,
for me.
okay. What do you
the
get?
outside looking in is almost as interesting as
It
discussion
is,
as
because
who we
there's a
put
handful
in.
of those, and then it drops off a cliff. By the way, Washington, Tampa Bay, Atlanta, all 3 2-0s, they're not in that group to me.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to start. I'll go the other way then. I'm going to start 10 and 9.
Okay.
Because I had the same battle in my mind. It's like, what do you put in 9, 10? I was like, you know what? I'm not dropping the Bengals completely out of it until like Joe Burrow is not playing anymore.
He might not.
So I had left him right at 10. It was my easy way of slotting someone in at 10. And then I put the Seahawks 9.
Okay, so we had 9 out of 10 the same.
Yeah, I understand why you went Rams there. And last week, if you guys were watching this at all, I had 3 NFC teams at the top, and then the rest of it was AFC teams. So, like, that is how some of the AFC teams have been affected, whether by injury or whatever, has shaken this up a little bit. That's why Seahawks are really in there and coming off of a bye off from the Lions. Jaguars kind of just get moved up based off of just, teams falling out, right?
Drift.
So they go up, and I'm not really going to punish them for losing to the Kansas City Chiefs. So they're at 8, 7. I went Bills kind of out of it week 1, whatever. They're still a very good defensive team. I think they belong in this top 10, especially as teams are falling out. So 7. I'm with you on the Ravens, man. I mean, that's a team that I thought people were over, making too much out of the coordinator change in the offseason, but at the same time, like, I do expect that team's going to be way better, and John Harbaugh's still a great head coach. Dolphins 5. We have the same top 5. Dolphins 5, Chiefs 4 for me. I kept the NFC teams at the top. I will keep them there until one of them loses, I think. Cowboys number 1 for me, though.
What does this tell us? That it's pretty static already. Like, we have 9 of the top 10 similar? It's interesting. Happened last year like this, too.
Go to VSiN.com/subscribe to become a VSiN Pro subscriber today.